Have you ever wished you could get the full, raw power of your office workstation, but, from your couch? Well, today we're going to break down how Omnis Horizon paired with NVIDIA makes that an actual reality. We're talking about unlocking your physical hardware from literally anywhere.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? You remote into this absolute beast of a machine. It's packed with a killer graphics card, and yet everything just feels slow. It's laggy, it's unresponsive, all that horsepower is just sitting there, miles away, and it feels like you're trying to do heavy-duty design work through a coffee straw. It's a super common frustration, but believe me, you don't have to live with it.
So let's just look at the difference. On the left, that's your typical remote desktop experience. Your CPU is screaming for help, pegged at 100%, and any kind of 3D application is basically a slideshow. But on the right, with Horizon on that exact same machine, it's a whole other world. The experience is buttery smooth, your CPU is barely breaking a sweat, and you get full native 3D graphics acceleration. So how do we get from that picture on the left to the one on the right?
Well, the answer is all about tapping directly into the hardware you already have. We're not talking about some complicated virtualization setup here. We are talking about unleashing the physical GPU that is sitting right there inside your workstation.
See, the real key here is that when you install the Omnis Horizon agent on your PC, it's smart enough to see and use that powerful NVIDIA graphics card directly. This isn't some virtual imitation. It's like giving your remote session a backstage pass to the real hardware, letting it handle both rendering your apps and encoding the display.
And the best part is, this works with the gear you probably already own. We're talking full support for both the consumer GeForce cards and the professional Quadro and RTX lines. That means all your demanding apps, the ones that rely on OpenGL and Direct3D, they just work. It all gets funneled through Horizon's Blast Extreme protocol, which is built from the ground up for this kind of high-speed hardware acceleration.
Okay, so how does it actually pull this off with such great performance? Well, the secret is all about offloading the really hard work from your computer's main brain, the CPU, and giving it to a dedicated specialist.
And that specialist has a name, NVENC, the NVIDIA encoder. Just think of it like this. Your GPU is already a monster at graphics, right? Well, NVENC is a special department inside that powerhouse, and its only job is to take whatever is on your screen and instantly package it or encode it into a high-quality video stream. And because it's a dedicated piece of hardware, it does this ridiculously fast without bothering your CPU at all.
The whole process is actually pretty brilliant. First, your application runs just like it always does, using the full power of the GPU to render all the graphics. Then, and this is the magic part, instead of your CPU struggling to capture and compress that screen image, NVENC just steps in and does it instantly. Finally, the Blast Extreme protocol is designed to just whisk that perfectly packaged video stream over the network to you. Render, encode, stream. It's this beautiful, high-speed, low-latency pipeline.
And this chart, this is the result. Just look at the difference in CPU load. When your CPU has to do all the encoding itself, that's software encoding, it's just completely maxed out. But when NVENC takes over that job, your CPU is freed up to do what it's supposed to be doing, running your OS and your actual applications. This is why the entire system feels so snappy and responsive. It's a total game changer.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but it must be a huge pain to set up. Well, actually, it's surprisingly straightforward. Let's just quickly walk through how you get this thing running.
It really just boils down to three main steps. First, you install the Horizon agent on your physical Windows machine. Then, inside your main Horizon management console, you add it to what's called a manual desktop pool. That's just a fancy way of telling Horizon, hey, this is a dedicated physical machine for a specific person. After that, you just fire up your Horizon client, connect, and boom, you're in.
It's also worth pointing out that there's flexibility here. Let's say you don't have a big central Horizon server environment, and you just want a direct connection to your machine. No problem. You can use the Horizon Agent Direct Connection plugin for a simple point-to-point connection.
All right, so as with any really powerful technology, it's super important to know the rules of the road. There are just a few key things to keep in mind to make sure everything runs perfectly.
First off, NVENC does have a resolution limit, but it's a 4K limit, so that covers almost everybody. If you're using a consumer GeForce card for professional apps, you might want to grab the free NVIDIA DesignWorks tool for a little performance bump. For you Linux users, it's really simple. You absolutely must have a physical NVIDIA card. And lastly, if your computer has two graphics cards, like an integrated one and your NVIDIA one, just make sure your system is set to prioritize the powerful NVIDIA GPU.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does all this tech add up to?
The whole point, the entire goal, is to give you a remote experience that is so smooth, so responsive, that it feels like you are sitting right there in front of the physical machine. No lag, no stutter, just pure, uncompromised performance.
And, that leaves us with a pretty interesting thought. As this kind of technology makes remote access to high-end hardware basically seamless, indistinguishable from being there in person, what does that really mean for the future of the office itself? Are our desks just becoming terminals for our own personal supercomputers that can live anywhere in the world?